What's going on, everybody? And who do I have here today?
My name is Aaron.
All right, and what'd you do today, boss?
I technically won the Mendenhall Regional today.
Awesome. All right, what was your matchups?
Let's see. I had Superheavy was my last match. I played against Purely, 2 Kashtiras, and what was the other one? I think it was like a rogue matchup. I can't remember the other one off the top of my head.
Gotcha. How did the day perform in this new format?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, like the Superheavy Samurai can do anything that it wants in the game. Just with one card, even like it just goes so far, and it just does everything.
Hey, that's good. Hey, congrats on the win today.
Thank you.
We'll get into the profile.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go, boss.
All right. So, first thing, we got the Hearted Soul of the deck, the Soul Piercer. You know, you got to play this. I mean, it's mandatory. Not once per turn. Reminds me a lot of like Ben 10. I used to play a little bit of Drytron here and there. Yeah, just cards nuts. Cards very nuts. And then, of course, the new stuff. We have 3 of the Prodigy and 2 of the Big Thing K. It's pretty standard. A lot of the ratios here are very standard. It's tried and true. Yeah, this card is nuts. I mean, all of these cards, like a lot of these first cards are just 1-card combos. Like if you see one of them, you see all of them, and you can end on so much. And yeah, these cards were crazy all day. Very, very good. I always wanted to see them. And along with that, same thing. These as well, 3 wagon and 3 motorbike, same thing. You always want to see these cards, but you only need to see one, and then you can just go completely hog wild. Yeah, the effect of this to become level 4 actually comes up all the time, by the way, like using it as synchro material, and also like sometimes I get drolled and make Baguska with something like this. Yeah, just very, very solid cards all around. See, a lot of this is pretty straightforward. Standard ratios on these are all 1-ofs. I feel like this one's maybe the most cuttable, but it is nice to have like an extra extender sometimes, but the level 1 kind of conflicts sometimes. But it's just nice to like, it doesn't even need like a super heavy on field. It could just summon itself if you have no spells in grave. So that comes up sometimes. But this one I feel like is mandatory. This card like came up all the time for me. Like having the level 4 extender specifically just comes up all the time. These cards are nuts. This usually summons this, and then this gets you like so far. It gets you like 3 bodies like by itself. Like it's nuts. But yeah, all these cards, you know, the engine is very, very strong. It's very good. And then for some of the sort of engine, we got a Regulus. This is searchable off of Genius, and also searchable off of the Gigantic Sargus guy. Yeah, this card's nuts. Just being able to like overlay use 2 level 4s, make Sargus, search this, and have 2 2800 bodies just is insane. And also this is an Omni, so you know it's also pretty good in that way. But it also just comes up all the time for like going for game. Like it's just an absurd amount of damage. It's not okay. Then we do Tunneler and Box, and also the Jizukiru. These cards are insane. I feel like every version of the deck right now should be playing these cards. Just like going full combo and then ending on like Apo for 4, Regulus, Baron, and like 5 cards in hand because of these is just so insane. Like, and you can do like some cute stuff with this sometimes. Like if you open this, if you open this but not this, you can like overlay another level 4, make Gear Gigan X, and then detach this for Gear Gigan X, and then grab this back from the graveyard. It still triggers, so you can search this off of that. Even if
that's insane.
Yeah, it's so wacky. It's so wacky. I've done that a couple times before. It is very, very sick.
It seems like as long as your plays go through, you're just like winning the game.
Yeah, and like it's not even like awful to like open this because it can just summon itself. So like these feel like at first I kind of thought these were like heartbreaks, but no, they're really not. They're just like extenders. Like they're really, really nice to open sometimes. And then we go, the rest of the deck is hand traps. There's a lot of room for it. So we do 3 Gamma and the Driver. Opens this guy a lot today, of course, the homie. And then 3 Ogre. Ogre didn't do a ton for me today. I didn't see it a lot, actually. But in theory, it's really good. Sprite was the other deck I played. I played against Sprite. And I don't think I ever saw this card, really. It was just kind of weird. But yeah, it's a good card. It's a good card.
And it's really good against the mirror.
Yes, it's very good against the mirror. And then playing 3 Nib and 3 Droll as well. These cards are nuts. Droll went hard all day. Like, this card is not okay. I hate this card, but I mean, it's mandatory, I feel like, right now. And Nib came out quite a lot. My second Kashtira game, the guy tried to do like the 5-zone lock and was basically like, better have Nib, and then I did.
They haven't respected Nib in like 2 months.
Exactly, and I did punish him for it, and I did win that game. I didn't mention this as well. I didn't drop a single game today, not even like a match. I didn't drop a single game.
So you 2-0'd everybody.
2-0'd everybody, every single person. So
that just shows how strong the deck is.
Yeah, the deck is nuts. It goes first or second. It just is so flexible. And the last cards in the main deck, 3 Ash and 2 Veiler. This is kind of just like, I have 2 of this because there's just not enough room in the deck. It's like, this is kind of the third one of this is the Yugioh spot, which I feel like is pretty important right now. Just having a searchable kaiju is just very nice.
You need it for like the Kashtira matchup for Rise Heart.
Exactly. And it came up in my super heavy samurai matchup today, my mirror match.
What'd you kaiju?
Well, I drolled, and then he ended on Baguska, and I made, to make sure I played around Gamma, I made the Link 1, hit his Baguska, made another rank 4, tributed over his Baguska, and then made my own Zeus.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, very, very nice. But yeah, these are the last kind of like main deck hand traps. These are very good. I wanted to have this versus branded. It's not great against a lot of matchups right now, but I kind of expected to play some branded today. I actually didn't, but it was still generically good. It came up against Sprite as well, which is very good cards. You kind of just want to see as many hand traps as possible, so you play more. And then to the extra deck, we got 2 of the Scarecrow. This card's insane. It's what makes your cards 1-card starters, honestly. With the Soul Piercer. Yeah, the Soul Piercer, you just link it off and you go full combo.
It's
card is not okay.
insane.
And then like the Reborn effect is just nuts. You just get like +2 off of it alone. It's just, it's so nuts. It is so nuts. But then you play, these are my 2 Link 2s that I play. So Intricate Ballista, I feel like both of these cards are pretty mandatory. This one especially. If you're not playing the box stuff, you obviously don't play this, but this I feel like is mandatory. You're a pendulum deck, so you can like summon it to its zones, search Jizukiru, search Regulus. I mean, the card is just like so versatile. And the negation effect actually didn't come up for me today, but it also has that randomly. Yeah, it's very good. Both of these I feel like are mandatory in the deck. And then these are my Link 4s, Appaloosa and Saryuja. I never went into Saryuja all day. This is for Spell Canceller, and like I said, I didn't drop a game, so I never went first, game 2 or 3, so I never made this. In theory, it's really good, because you can bring out Spell Canceller, and you can also buff its attack, so they can't just like normal summon a guy and beat over it, in theory. Again, I have no idea really how good it was, because it never went first, game 2 or 3. So
so you never went first, game 2 and 3?
Because I never lost. I never lost the game, so I never made this. So
that's insane.
I have no idea if it's good or not. You could try it, see what happens. Here are my Synchro 8s right here. I actually killed somebody with this one today. Not beating over something. I popped a Rivalry, and he had 400 life points left, and I killed him with this card, because it also does burn damage, if you didn't know. These cards are nuts. I didn't actually go into this at all today, Warlord. I went into this constantly, but Warlord, I feel like I didn't make it, but I still want it there in case, like, burn through my Baron and I still need an Omni Negate. I think it's, like, still pretty important to have just in case. I think this card is good when you're trying to like out generic floodgates, like Rivalry, for example. And then also it like wins in time. I didn't win in time. That wasn't like a win condition of mine, but like in case I ever went into time, I also wanted to have this. But it also just helps out generic floodgates and things like that.
That's pretty broken.
Yeah. And then also the 1 Synchro 10, I made this literally every single game, I think. This card's nuts. Especially like in a simplified game state when there's like droll battles going back and forth. Whoever has Baron usually wins the game. So yeah, this is mandatory. You gotta play this. And then my rank 4s here, Yugioh X, Baguska, and Merrymaker. I actually didn't make Yugioh today and do that whole cute thing that I was telling you about, but I would say that it's pretty mandatory. It just didn't come up for me today. Baguska, 100% mandatory. 100%. I got drolled so many times today. He came in so clutch. You cannot just skip Baguska. Baguska's crazy. And the Merrymaker, that is just for this guy right here. You make rank 8 monsters in this deck, just this one. But yeah, like I said before, like being able to make this, make a body, and then search Regulus to have 2,800 bodies off of 2 level 4s is absurd. Like not even, the Omni Negate is nice. I'm not gonna like argue about that, but like just having that is nuts. So yeah, I would say that these are like pretty mandatory as well. And then actually, the last one in the extra deck, MVP all day. Card is crazy. It's one of my favorite cards in the game. That's why I got it ulti. I love this card, and an excuse to play it is nice. And also, it just helps that it's a busted card. So
yeah, it's probably one of the most broken cards in the game.
Yeah. And then on to the side deck. Again, some of these I never went first. I sided these in. I don't think they ever came up. I sided this in just for the 5 Rainbow Magician or whatever. But no one ever did that on me, so it didn't come up. And I can also out like other generic floodgates with this too. But yeah, in theory it's good. It didn't come up today. And then I also had these. I threw this in because I expected a lot of mirrors today, and I only had one, and I didn't see it in that match. So again, unsure if this is any good, but in theory it's crazy against the mirror. I would hit the Scarecrow. I would hit the Link one for sure. I feel like that would be just the most impactful. And then again, I never went first, so never summoned to this. But in theory, like so the deck has 2 huge weaknesses: Droll and then also Dark Ruler. This beats Dark Ruler, so that's the reason that I want to play this card. I don't have an in-engine out to Droll, so I gotta do what I can with the outs that people have against me. Yeah. I do have one other thing in my side deck for Droll that I think it'll be the last thing that I'll show. It's a little spicy, I like to think. But I also have 2 Kaijus in here. The other one is searchable, but I wanted to have more Kaijus because people will be expecting that they'll like probably negate the genius if they can, so I don't search the machine Kaiju. So I just want to have more going second when I need it against like purely and stuff.
Makes
like
perfect sense though.
Yeah. Then also, I've got 3 DD Crows as well. I liked this card. I didn't side it in terribly often, but I wanted it because it's like good against branded and also good against purely. Because the new one, the Pure Lily, however you pronounce it, it targets the card engraved to Xyz summon, so you just crow that and they just sit on nothing. So yeah, that's just another way to stop the noir and all that, and also it's just generically good in other matchups too. So.
It is. I've actually thought about siding it myself.
Yeah, it came up one game today against Purely. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. And then this is the spicy thing I was telling you about.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Prohibition. This card did not come up a ton today. Sometimes I would side it in going second if I was afraid of somebody using the 5 Rainbow Magician on me, and I would just set it. But that didn't again come up. And then the one time that this card actually came up, they anti-spilled me, and I was going second. So I set it. It got back to me on the next turn. I activated it, and then they Solemn Judgmented it, which was really bad because this is supposed to stay on field. All my monsters become vanillas. I still won that game. Don't know how, but I did. Yeah, but in theory, this is supposed to call like your outs, like Droll, Dark Ruler. Again, like sometimes going second, if they just end on like one interruption, you can just call that interruption. Again, I didn't really have a lot of testing with it because I feel like I would more often side this in going first rather than going second.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a chance to try that out. So
man, that is crazy.
But yeah. So that is the deck.
Hey, well, do you have any shout outs, boss?
Yes, actually, I'm on a team Team Shank. Shout outs to them. They're always very supportive. Shout out to Andrew for riding with me. Shout out to specifically Tyler and Adrian and Josh as well. They're all super cool and help me a lot, and they're very good testing partners. And I believe that's it.
Hey, well, congratulations on first place.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for the deck profile, boss.
Thank you.